Hello, welcome to a special Racing to Win that spans 2 years. Filmed on New Year's Eve 2022 to preview New Year's Day 2023. Big 11 race program coming up to kick off the new year, and joined to preview it all by Paul Alley. And Paul, there's a lot happening at Sha Tin on Sunday.
There is, isn't there? And one of the highlights of the jackpots is 3 good jackpots there. We've 10.5 million going into the triple trio, so that should get up to 18 million. 3.1 million going into the 6-up win bonus, and also races 7-11, a million going into the quartet and first four merge pools. So some good jackpots, a whole host of first starters. Some have raced at other jurisdictions as well.
There is, and some haven't early in the program also. Looking back on 2022, what has been a highlight for Paul Alley?
I thought Romantic Warrior, wasn't he? He sort of was he's coming through. We like to see these good horses come through. He's come through, and that win in the Cup was just sensational, wasn't it? And he won easy, and it was he bet some good international horses on the day.
Got Beauty Eternal running at this meeting as well. Is he likely going to be the short-priced favourite this season? Well, certainly Photo finishing as short-priced favourite of this season.
Just about, wouldn't he? I mean, he was so unlucky last time, wasn't he? And I think we get a chance to talk to Zach about it. But it was, I think he can atone, and his work's been very good leading into it.
Well, speaking of Zach, California Spangled had a trial yesterday morning. That was Friday morning out at Sha Tin. Zach was aboard, and this was his post-trial summation. You've just trialled California Spangled this morning, looked to do it well within himself.
Yeah, he's a dude, isn't he? He's a little professional fella. He's quick from the gates. He's competitive when a horse comes next to him, and I just love the way he moves. His action's great. And, he's a terrific little horse, so it was a pleasure to be on him again, and he's come through the trial well.
Massive target at the end of January coming up with Romantic Warrior and Golden 60 in there.
Yeah, it's going to be a really tough race, isn't it? I don't know if I'm looking forward to it or worried about it, but it's a challenge. I think either one of the 3 horses could win it, of course. It depends what barriers we draw and how the race is going to be run. So it's exciting, and it's why we're here, right? We've got to go head-to-head with the big boys.
It was a lovely trial from him yesterday morning, Paul.
Yeah, he looked good, didn't he? And look, he's another one of the stars. He's come through. He's one of these horses. He's a homegrown horse. He was a Griffin here in Hong Kong. He's got all the way up to a rating of 127. You can tell he holds a special place in Zach's heart too. That's the way he talks about him as well.
And what a clash it's going to be at the end of January. Romantic Warrior, Golden 60 in California Spangled. It doesn't get any better than that, does it?
No, not at all. I mean, and that's what we'd like to see. You like to see the good horses race against each other, and we're definitely going to see that on end of January, isn't it?
It is, yeah. 1,600 metres too. Will that suit Romantic Warrior? He's been there and done it, but the other two are absolute dynamite milers.
They are, aren't they? So he's got it to do, but I think Zach said there in that interview, the draws are going to be very important. Romantic Warrior, though, I mean, remember that debut run of his at Happy Valley where he sat 3 or 4 wide and shouldn't have won, but still won it. Good horses can do that at Happy Valley, and we've seen it with him, Mr. Stunning, in the past.
Yep, 1,200 from Barrier 12, Romantic Warrior, but that's still a few meetings away. We need to focus now on this meeting coming up on New Year's Day. We've got a number of scratchings to pass on. Race 2, number 7, Brave Power is out. This is Guts, comes into the field for Harry Bentley. And unfortunately in our feature race, more than this has been scratched. So we're down to a pretty small field with race 8, number 3 being withdrawn. Some meeting details for the lucky start at Sha Tin. It's meeting 32, all are on the turf, and the rail is in the C course position. It's an early start too with the extra race, so 12:30 with 2 Class 5s to kick us off. We go right through until 5:45 local time, and the 2 races we focus on, the Class 2, race number 7, and the Group 3, the Chinese Club Challenge Cup. The Cherry Handicap, race number 7, 3:35 start time. Winning Dreamers on the class drop. He went around in the Group 2 Jockey Club Sprint last time. Trillium wins up in trip from the 1,000 to the 1,200. I'm a Single Man claiming again this week Tony Cruz, with Angus Chung taking 10 off. Kaying Master, he's raced wide his last 2, one at the back end of last season and first up. Oriental Smoke loves racing over 1,200 metres. Pinghai Galaxy back at Sha Tin. He broke the duck there last time over 1,000. Bazinga's back from some tie-back surgery. Has had 4 trials. He won his first 2 races impressively. Rocky Hearts placed his last 2 at Happy Valley. And of course, it's been good for you, Paul. Power kept in the field with just 117 pounds. Pretty good record, and an extra 200 metres on his back again. As far as the speed map goes, Well, he's got a draw this week, Kaying Master, and he does have some early pace. Pinghai Galaxy likes to roll forward. Looks a little tough for I'm a Single Man and Oriental Smoke.
Yeah, just wonder what they're going to do with I'm a Single Man. Look, if they won't want to be caught wide, so they might even drop back a little bit for him. Oriental Smoke will try and get cover wherever he is from his draw, but back to 1200 looks good for him as well.
Bazinga's been ridden off the pace in his trials too, so first up from a spill in a pretty hot field, he's going to look for an economical run also. The first replay we'll look at is Pinghai Galaxy. Now this is where he'd always race best. Paul over at Happy Valley, he runs second here. Rock Your Heart third and Grateful Heart. All of his form is still at Happy Valley.
Yeah, it is. He's 5-zip at Sha Tin, so look, I'm not going to. I don't think this is the right race for him. But Pinghai Galaxy, look, he's going really well this season. This was here at Happy Valley, but he came over to Sha Tin and raced down the straight 1000 and won his first race down that straight 1000. He's never raced over the 1200, so there's a little bit of an unknown there.
And the horse that beat him Rewarding Together is well above average animal. He trialled at Chungfa in the last few days also. Now we head to race 259, which is the win of Pinghai Galaxy. Also got Power Kep and Trillion Win. You'd have to find a spot for Power Kep, wouldn't you? He's been so good to you.
Yeah, he's such an honest horse. He's running well at the moment. The 1200 looks good for him, and he comes in with that lightweight, as you mentioned. Look, when I was talking about Pinghai Galaxy before, he's not won over 1200. That's it, or never raced over 1200. That's at Sha Tin. He's a winner at 1200, of course, at Happy Valley. But look, a good run from both those two horses, Pinghai Galaxy and Power Kep.
124 pounds for Pinghai Galaxy this week. He had 121 in that win. Oriental Smoke runs third here. Now, this was over 1,400 metres. I'm a Single Man who leads for home, Paul. He pulled really hard in front and he knocked up. Oriental Smoke is a far better 1,200 metre horse from what we've seen from him so far.
Yeah, he just needs some cover. I think if he gets the cover, he's going to be very tough to beat. Oriental Smoke, I think he can get that cover. I'm a Single Man. You can see him dropping back through the field. He's put on 17 pounds. He does get the 10-pound claim, so I'd just like to be interested to see how he does look with that 17-pound increase. I've included him on a very minor line because I'm just worried about that weight increase.
And his last time he was claimed was with Angus Chung 3 runs ago. He did run second behind Fantastic Way in that race, being senior riders in his next two starts. The trial file now, Paul, and we start with Winning Dreamer. He's having his 23rd start out of group racing last time. He's a 3-time winner this grade and a 5-time winner over the 1200.
I'm going to include him because he's drawn nicely in barrier 4. I think he'll get a good run. He's downgraded, as you mentioned. He did race in a Group 2 last start. He has run third off a rating of 101 before. He's at this rating of 100. Does have to carry the weight, but he's a big, strong horse. I thought the trial was very good. So I think he's definitely a chance, Winning Dreamer. This is his right grade.
And Vincent Ho has been on board for all 7 wins also and does partner him in race number 7. Up to Chungfa now, Kaying Master. Pretty luckless at his last 2. He's second up and he's placed 3 from 5 second up. Jerry Chow for Benno Yung.
Yeah, and look, he's coming off an all-weather run back in December, early December as well. This will be sort of, as you say, second up, so his races are well spaced. It was an easy trial for him, so it's hard to really gauge from that trial, but he's drawn nicely and he will be on the pace.
That is Kirpany in front winning the trial and Harmony and Blessed finishing about 3 or 4 lengths behind them. He trialled at Chungfa in the last couple of days, Harmony and Blessed, and won that trial, so he's improved further out of that. Bazinga runs 4th here, Paul. This is his last of 4 trials. Of course, he did win his first 2 starts. There's a motor there, but we haven't seen him since June. Yeah,
that's the query, and he's put on 19 pounds as well. So I don't know if he's totally tuned up for this race. And saying that, as you say, he has got that fresh record. I didn't put him in the end just with that weight increase. I just thought he was pushed out a little bit in this trial towards the end, just a little bit. You can see him there as well. So I'm happy to watch him in this race.
All right, he's coming back from a 1,400 metre start to that last race we saw from him in June. Pretty even and a good field, as you'd expect, being a Class 2 race, Paul. Who did you settle on?
I went with Oriental Smoke because, I mean, if he gets back to 1,200 is the key. I do like the fact he's coming back. He just need to get some cover, but I think he can. So he's on top. Power Kep with the lightweight. I think he's the main danger. Winning Dreamer, downgraded. And I'm a Single Man there. Just put on that bit of weight. That just worries me a bit. A little bit of an awkward draw in 9. 5, 10, 1 and 3.
With the 5 also, Oriental Smoke. His 1,200 metre record is excellent. He's had the 5 starts for 4 wins and a second. He struggled a little at 1,400. Does have barrier number 10. His 2 goes at 1,400 have been that third, and he did have mucus the time that he finished well down the track. Hugh Bowman on for David Hayes, so 5 to win. Going to throw the 7 in for second, Ping Hai Galaxy. He's got some form on the board now at Sha Tin, goes around the bend, but as Paul said, has won numerous times over the 1200 at Happy Valley. Kaying Master from the inside, plays 3 from 5, second up. Barrier number 1, he's going to get the perfect trip. And the 3 in for fourth, I'm a Single Man, simply on the claim. And last time he carried a lighter weight, he was able to place behind Fantastic Way. Struggled with the bigger weights last time, and he too is coming back in trip. So 5, 7, 4 and 3 for race number 7. That has been part number 1 of this Racing to Win preview of New Year's Day coming up at Sha Tin. We're going to take a break and come back and have a look at the Group 3 feature right after this. Welcome back to Racing to Win. Before we get on to the Group 3 feature on Sunday, a reminder about this week's Hong Kong Direct, which is part 2 of the 2022 Racing Year in Review. You'll find it on the website hkjc.com and click on audio and video. While you're there, you'll find all of the breakdowns of the races for this show as well. But we need to have a look at race number 8, which is a small but very select field, and it's made it a really intriguing Chinese Club Challenge Cup Group 3 over the 1400. Beauty Joy, he comes out of the Hong Kong Mile and 4th behind California Spangle. Lucky Swayness, he is out of the Hong Kong Sprint where he was really unlucky, goes to barrier 6, extra weight. More Than This has scratched. Healthy Happy, he has had 2 trials. He led up in the last one and he beat Toronado Phantom in that. He's had 2 runs back this time in. Blaze Warrior, he's run second time in Group 3. This is his second run in Group 3. Ran 4th in the Premier Cup at his first go. Fantastic Treasures on an 8-day backup. Golden Scenery comes to group racing for the first time. Harry Bentley and Tony Cruz. So I've got Healthy Happy Paul from barrier number 5 leading. We know he likes to go forward. Lucky Swayness. Barrier 6 is going to give Zach some options, isn't it? Yeah,
it is. Small field, he's drawn the outside, so he can sort of go forward and just sort of sit outside the leader. Beauty Joy's drawn well on the inside, so he can be close. Fantastic Treasure likes to go back. The Golden Scenery likes to go back, and Blaze Warrior does as well. So shouldn't be too much variance in this.
I'll have a look at some of the previous winners of this race, and there's some really good names amongst them, including the champ himself, Golden 60, who won the race in 2020. Healthy Happy won it last year. He's looking for back-to-back wins. Interesting there, Paul. John Size and Karis Teaton have won 2 of the last 5. They combine this year with Blaze Warrior.
Yeah, so and again, he's got an opportunity as well. Blaze Warrior. It's a really good field, this, of only 6, but I think tactics going to play a lot into it, aren't they?
He carries just 118 pounds, does Blaze Warrior this week. We'll talk about him soon. But the Buzz Horse is Lucky Swayness, luckless in the Hong Kong Sprint. Let's find out what Zach thinks of his chances in the feature on Sunday. Lucky Swayness back this week, Zach, in the feature, but he's got a lot more weight on his back.
Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it? Obviously, he's won over the distance before in a lower class. But the way he's been finishing his races off over 1200, I think the distance is okay. It's just the weight he's got to carry on his back. It's always difficult in these Group 3 handicap races.
What about his jump last time in the international sprint? He looked to get out much better.
Yeah, and in the end it probably put us in a spot that cost us the race, right? So, you know, it's the one time you wish he was probably a length slower and in a different spot. But he did get out well. For whatever reason, he stood really well in the gates, and that was probably the reason why he jumped. So, you know, he's drawn outside. It's always tricky when you draw outside in these small fields. A couple of the runners generally try and race a little bit out of their comfort zone, so we're just going to have to deal with that, but hopefully we can get across and just cruise along and, you know, give him his chance to run the distance with the weight.
You've done a lot of work on him recently. You're happy with where he's at?
Yeah, he's working really well. He needs to go back to the races. He's wanting to tag along a bit in his work, so he needs to blow the steam out.
So that is Zach Paul. Now, he's the best horse in the race, Lucky Swayness, but the handicapper's got hold of him this week.
Yeah, he's up to 135. So, look, he has to carry the weight. He was so unlucky, as we saw in that last run of his. 1400 metres should hold no fares from his 1 from 1 over the course and distance. So that's a positive as well. And in the small field, he's going to get his opportunity. Here's the sprint. You can see for yourself in the yellow on the inside how he didn't get a clear run all the way down the straight.
He's switching across heels here, and it was Zach mentioning in that interview that it was because he jumped so well that he ended up in the spot that he did. Barry, number 6, I guess that's not too bad, Paul, for a horse like him, that he can go forward if he wants to. If he's slow away, Zach can sit back, but there's no risk of getting buried on the rail.
No, because there are 3 of the 6 horses that do like to get back. So there's definitely an option there for him to go forward and sort of sit outside the leader. He's not going to lead. Healthy Happy will lead. I mean, well, unless something majorly goes wrong at the start for him, because that's how he wins his races, Healthy Happy. So if he can sort of get outside him and outside Beauty Joy, he should be able to get himself into a nice position. You can see him all the way going down the straight. No run there at all, was there?
It just didn't open up. It was bad from the moment Lim's Kosciuszko stopped in front of him, and he had to look for alternate passages through the field. So that is Lucky Swayness. We move on to Beauty Joy. Now we've got California Spangle in front. This is the mile, Paul, and it was a little bit of a shock to see Huey was out there 3 wide. He almost got to the rail, or one off when Golden 60 thought about going to the rail. In the end, it didn't. Might have cost Golden 60 from going close to winning the race, and he went and served it up to California Spangle.
Didn't he? And then he took off Hugh on Beauty Joy. He's another one that has to carry the weight. He's got 135 as well, so he's got to carry that big weight. You can see him here. California Spangle got back on the outside and obviously went on and won the race nicely. He finished 4th, so look, he did stay on okay. He is capable, but this over a mile, he's got to come back now to 1,400 metres, and saying that he has won twice over the distance.
He has, and he's won with 133 pounds on the back. He's ended up knocking up in the straight there, Beauty Joy. So he's out of a Group 1 race, as is Lucky Swayness around the top of the book, and as you can see, he was beaten officially 5 1/4 lengths at the end of that race. But Paul mentioned he's a 2-time winner over the 1,400 from limited starts. Those further down in the book now, Paul, we've got Healthy Happy, who's going to lead the Golden Scenery. Good test for him this week to see where he's at. Blaze Warrior and Fantastic Treasures had a start since then, which we'll see soon. But Healthy Happy, last year's winner, Group 3 placed 2 runs ago. This was in a Class 1.
So when Healthy Happy won this race last year, he carried 132 off a rating 109. He's now rated 107 and he's carrying 123. So weight-wise, he's looking a lot better in this race. This is a race, the 1,400 metres, we know he really enjoys the distance. So I think he can run a bit of a race again.
That second was behind California Spangle, who's only 2 lengths off him, so and is possibly going to get a really good run in front too. An X-Replay is featuring Blaze Warrior again and the Golden Scenery. They both like to get back and run on. Blaze Warrior, 4th in the Premier Cup, and that was at Group 3 level in May. He's had 2 runs back for a second to Beluga, and that'll win over Beauty Live.
Yeah, I think both these are legitimate chances as well. The Golden Scenery comes in with a really nice racing weight of 116, so he comes in with a light weight. And Blaze Warrior, look, he's been in good form recently. He's a 6-time winner from his 17 starts, and I thought this win was quite strong as well. So I think they've both got good chances.
We did mention that the record that John Size and Karis Teton have had over the 5 years too, previously, which has been very, very good. Final replay, Fantastic Treasure. Now, this was last week. This was a really strong field. He'd failed over 1,600 a couple of times. Got into a battle with Packing Treadmill here at the top of the straight. So he's on a fast back up, but he does come back in trip to the 1,400, which is where he has raced well in the past.
Yeah, Cheek Pieces will go back on him just to help him focus as well. As you say, he's a 3-time winner. It was a hard run he had here, though, as well. Look, he really fought strongly to the line. It's just as long as this hasn't taken out of him, because he is on the reasonably quick backup, isn't he?
He is, and Vincent Ho and David Hayes. It's the first time in Group 3 for him. He has run 8th in Group 2 in the Premier Bowl previously. So it's just a really interesting race, isn't it? Just the smallness of the fields just opened it right up.
Yeah, I think tactics is going to be a big play in this particular race. I am going to go with Lucky Swayness, though. I think he's the up-and-coming horse. He's just got to carry that weight, but he's 1 for 1 over the 1,400. Healthy Happy comes in this race really well, I think. He's won off a high rating before, and last year, as I said, he carried 132, and he has to carry 123 in this. The Golden Scenery with the light racing weight as well, and Blaze Warrior, a horse in form, and that's leading out Beauty Joy, who's got a chance of Fantastic Treasure. The 2, 4, 7 and 5. Any one of the 6 can win.
Yeah, it was hard to leave a couple out, wasn't it? But with the 2 also, Lucky Swayness, he has to go on top, even with the 135 pounds. He's come up very short early at 1.7, 1.5. He's more than likely going to start odds on again, especially if Zach's won a few races by the time we get to race number 8. Beauty Joy goes in. He's tricky, quirky sort of horse, but don't mind the fact he's coming back to 1,400 metres. His last run over 1,400 metres was when he beat Lucky Express, and that was the race that he was a mile off them early on. and in the end has recovered to go on and win that race. 6 Fantastic Treasure for third and 4 Healthy Happy 2, 1, 6 and 4. But it was very hard to leave out the Golden Scenery and also Blaze Warrior from the selections. That is the Group 3. Interesting little race. Half a dozen. Lucky Swayness with the big weight as well. It's a big 11 race program, Paul. So much so we've had to get your graphic and squeeze it all down to get them in.
Yeah, extra race there for us on New Year's Day. But look, it starts off with a couple of tricky Class 5s as well. Thought Jiangxi Stamina's won off this rating before. He's capable. Team Good Luck, just from the barrier draw, barrier 2, he should get his opportunity from an inside. It should be a good price too. Dublin Star ran well at his last start. Baby Crystal, like the fact he's going up to 1,200 metres. Beat Hollow was very unlucky at his debut run here in Hong Kong. Dragon Pride, another one capable, gets back, runs on. And also Beauty Eternal should win, he'll be short. Superb Boy can atone for his last start. And I'm going to stick with APAL. I don't want to completely sort of diss him after that one bad run last time.
All right, he's in the last and off a wide draw. You can find all of those race analysis on the website, hkjc.com, and click on audio and video. Included in them, Zach Purton, Beauty Eternal, David Hayes, Straight Aaron, and Jerry Chow. He'll talk about Mark the Moment. They're all waiting for you on the website right now, but it's the end of the show. We need a winner to start the new year, Paul.
I think Zach can win on Baby Crystal, up to 1,200 metres. He's been racing over 1,000 all 3 starts, drew the inside last time and was sort of stuck out on a limb. I think from the 1,200 barrier number 6, he can win. So race 4, number 4, and then race 5, number 4, go Beat Hollow. He only had the one start, didn't get any luck down the straight 1,000. He'll stick to the straight 1,000, but with a clear run, I think he would have finished a lot closer on his debut run. I think he can as well. And in race 10, Superb Boy to bounce back, Pleasant Endeavour, We Are Hero was impressive last start. So QQP 7, 8 and 10 in race number 10.
Go for race number 5. A first starter called Chili Baba for Ricky Yu has had the 5 trials. They've looked good. In particular, the last one where he beat Accelerando, he led up, he's drawn 14, he'll get to the outside rail and thought he might be a bit too speedy for them down the outside fence. Dylan Moe was good to us last week with Packing Treadmill. He rides Lucky Fun, who'll be big odds in race 11. Good draw coming back onto the turf and he's raced well course and distance and will make the play of the day. Race 11, the first starter, 2 Straight Aaron, 5 Good Buddy. He just struggled over the 1650 to Happy Valley last time and Lucky Fun 2, 5, 11 in a QQP. That has been Racing to Win for the first meeting of 2023. Gee, those jackpots are great, Paul.
Yeah, some really good jackpots there. 18 million going into the triple trio, 3.1 million going into the 6-up win bonus, so that should get up to 7 million. A couple of really good ones there.
On behalf of the team, Happy New Year.